Hi guys, my name is Crystal and welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome old subscribers, welcome new. If you like my content, please press the like button on the videos. And if you like the channel, please subscribe. As I said, most of my videos are about vlogging and I like balloons, which I have done since 2009. No specific reason, I just like blowing them up, popping them, and they're lovely colours. Alexa, what's the time please?
The time is 8:13 a.m.
Alexa, what's the date today?
Today is Monday the 15th of August.
Alexa, what's the weather?
Right now in Rochester, it's 18 degrees Celsius with partly sunny skies. Today's forecast has some sun and thunderstorms, with a high of 28 degrees and a low of 17 degrees.
Alexa, can you tell me a joke?
What's the difference between a weasel and a stoat? A weasel is easily recognised, but a stoat is totally different.
Very funny. I've just grabbed my cup of coffee this morning, which is Nescafe 2-in-1. Which I've been drinking for some time now. Now you might think that I would have got up this morning in a bad mood, upset, but I haven't, because I don't like to let things get me down. I know what I look like, I know how I present myself, I know my emotions, I know my mentality, I know who I am. Therefore, anybody making out that I'm mad, I'm unhygienic, I know is untrue, right? So what anybody else says, they have to justify, they have to back it up. If they say someone is mental, then they have to back it up. It's like when you want to certify somebody and put them in hospital because you don't think they can look after themselves. They can't clean themselves, they can't do that. You have to back it up. You can't just come into someone's place and cart them off without having backup, right? So rumours and gossip, that's all it is. If you know that you're clean, you're hygienic, you can look after yourself and you're not a danger to society, then that's fair enough. They have to have proof, unless you are rampaging on the street, of course. You know, if you're actually causing a mock along the street, being a monster, then obviously police, etc. have the right to get you off the streets for people's safety and your own. But if you're just going down the street every day, you know, being your normal self, doing your normal things with no trouble at all, then that's fine. But you know, if people have to provoke, shout, call names, make rude noises to make somebody cross, then I'm afraid it's them that's not normal. It's them that needs the help. So now, when I hear people being rude, shouting rude things to try and upset me, it just gets blocked out. I don't listen to it, and I don't need earphones anymore. I don't validate it. If someone goes, ugh, I don't validate it because I'm not at all. Not only is it hateful, spiteful, nasty, it's childish. It's things children do at school when they're bullying somebody. And you think grown adults would have learnt by now not to be silly school children and get on with their job, get on with what they're doing, because they're just making me more important. And by making me more important, it puts me in the limelight, even if it is in not the way you want it. I mean, you want to be put on show. Oh, she's lovely, she's got a nice voice, what she's doing is good. That's how you want to be looked at. But what they're doing, oh, she's stinky, oh, she's smelly, oh, and then certain people are turning around and thinking, my God, what are they talking about? I've had a few people say to me, really? You can't find a boyfriend? Why? There's nothing wrong with you. So they are making themselves look fools. They are looking stupid, not me. And why they continue to do these bullying tactics, they are not only wasting my time, their life is fleeting past as well. Get on with your job. Get on with what you're doing. I'm sure what I'm doing is not important to you. And even if I was ugly, even if I did smell, haven't you got better things to do than act like a silly school child? I mean, really. Upstairs this morning, right? We've had some scraping noises outside. Obviously, the builders, you can't really hear them drill anymore, not to the extent it was in 2020. But you have got what it sounds like is builders scraping scaffolding, metal scraping along the floor. If you've got a headache and you don't feel well and you've got toothache, that would be quite excruciating, listening to poles being scraped, scaffolding being banged about. So what does he do upstairs? Draws attention to himself. I am not interested. About 10-15 minutes ago, my mother Jennifer rang because I took my son Andrew round there to see my mum yesterday. My son's gone back home, right? So she said that what she said to Andy was direct and to the point, that she didn't like his dad, my ex-husband. She said she saw my ex-husband in 1987 for about 20 minutes when he took me up to Gloucestershire in a taxi, and she told my son that she didn't like his dad. Now, my son probably loves his dad, and Andy probably felt a bit upset and a bit shocked about what my mother said to him. But that's the way my mother is. She now just abruptly comes out with things without sometimes realising that it does hurt somebody. And Andy did not stay long with me after that. Andy, after my mum had spoke to him and she cooked him a baked potato, he drove me to All Hallows and the Isle of Grain, and we couldn't park in All Hallows Caravan Park because, if I remember rightly, my father Derek, when he used to take me on holiday to these caravan parks, you had to have a pass. So Dad would get a pass because he owned 2 caravans in there at one point, so he had a pass. So it just reminded me of going up to the caravan park and Dad giving the pass to the security and Dad going into the caravans, but Andy couldn't find a parking space, and it looked a bit different to when I went there in 2011. The pub was cut off. Dad used to take me to a pub and have a drink of alcohol before he took me to the caravan sometimes. That was all shut off, the pub. The Premier little newsagents were still there that Dad used to buy the shopping, the eggs and the bread and the bacon, before he took me into the caravan. That was still there, and the fish and chip shop. So all the little shops were there, but I didn't get to see my old caravans if they were still there. So then we drove round the Isle of Grain and we saw the National Grid. But we didn't stop anywhere. Andy was exceptionally tired. and it is dangerous to drive when you're tired. And in the car, when my dad used to smoke, he used to blow his cigars and his Old Holborn tobacco and Golden Virginia roll-ups. When I was sat in the car with him, he used to blow his cigarette smoke all over my face. And I don't think my son meant it, but while he was driving, the vape pipe smoke blew in my face and in through my mouth and up my nose. And I have got a sore throat, and it's really sore. But I'm not angry, I'm not upset. People have habits, and you've got to put up with them. If you love somebody, if they smoke, you put up with it. You might not like it, but I mean, you know, I would imagine quite a lot of the population smoke cigarettes and nicotine. I expect they do, but that is probably why the man upstairs coughs. He smokes cigarettes, and he probably smokes a lot, and it clogs up your lungs, and it can cause cancer. So, you know, don't look at it that he is taking the piss and being rude. He might have a smoker's cough. Smoking is bad for you. I would imagine after a couple of days my throat will heal up. So today, my mum didn't give me a lot of money. I basically topped up what I needed, mineral water because it's still very hot, and bits of food to eat, and I got my son a sandwich and drink so that he could go home. Right? Today, Max is still zonked out, he's still very tired, and I'm tired as well. I'm not a young woman, I'm middle-aged. But like I said, don't judge a book by its cover, and don't assume somebody's this, that and the other till you've actually met them in person. You can't judge someone by a WhatsApp chat. You can't judge somebody by a dating message. If you can't be bothered to meet somebody and find out who they really are and how they work, then, you're just going to get hearsay. And hearsay is dangerous when people gossip about each other, as I found out when someone told me a load of rubbish down the road. Absolute twaddle, rubbish. None of it true, because they grab bits of information from people they walk past, and then it all gets mixed up, and then you get told absolute lies. Unless you live with someone and know them, you don't know about them at all, because people gossip, and gossip is like Chinese whispers. It starts off, oh, she's a lovely lady. Oh, she's a lovely lady, but yeah, she's fat. Oh, she's a nice lady, she's fat, and she's this, that and the other, and by the end of it, it's totally out of proportion. So don't listen to gossip. It's very dangerous. That's why I keep myself to myself. My mum said she'd probably see me later on in the week, and we'll see what happens today. But again, it's warm, but I don't see so much sun as yesterday, but we'll see. Take care, guys. Be nice to each other, and I'll see you later.